Introducing Kendall Grant, Kiana Harris, Tyler Gipe, and Sydney Fischer, and Fluffy!
Hello, this is Kendall Grant reporting live from the CNN News headquarters. Today is Sunday, April 29, 2012. I'm here to bring you your local weather for this week. On Monday, April 30th, it's supposed to be mostly cloudy with a high of 65 and a low of 55 with a 10% chance of rain. On Tuesday, May 1st, we're supposed to get scattered thunderstorms with a high of 78 and a low of 60 with a 50% chance of rain. On Wednesday, May 2nd, we're supposed to get isolated thunderstorms with a high of 76 and a low of 59 with a 30% chance of rain. On Thursday, May 3rd, we're going to have isolated thunderstorms again with a high of 83 and a low of 60 with a 30% chance of rain. On Friday, May 4th, we're supposed to get isolated thunderstorms yet again with a high of 82 and a low of 61 with a 30% chance of rain. On Saturday, May 5th, you guessed it, we're supposed to have isolated thunderstorms again with a high of 77 and a low of 53 with a 30% chance of rain. And on Sunday, May 6th, it's supposed to be sunny with a high of 73 and a low of 53 with a 0% chance of rain. Overall, it looks like we're going to have a sunny and warm week with a possibility of some rain here and there. I would get out and enjoy this warm weather as much as possible since the weather this month has been unpredictable. In other news, dust plumes continue to blow out of the Gobi Desert, spreading over large swaths of eastern China on April 27th. It's sweeping in a counterclockwise motion around a cloud bank. Farther south, a veil of dust hung over eastern China with a fairly thick plume stretching across Bohai. Even though the dust was not thick enough over Beijing, the U.S. Embassy in Beijing did report unhealthy air quality between April 26th and April 28th. Also, in Mexico, people are still talking about the earthquakes. Mexico was hit by 2 strong earthquakes on its western side. This happened on Thursday, April 12th. They happened within 12 hours of each other. It shook buildings in the capital more than 200 miles away. There were no reports of major damage. The first quake arrived on Wednesday evening with a magnitude of 6.5 and a recorded depth of 12.4 miles. The second happened in the early hours of Thursday. It was stronger and shallower with a magnitude of 6.9 and a depth of 6.2 miles. In my final analysis, weather can affect us all at different times. We need to be on the lookout for trouble. It can be serious or minor, so take action. Now, on to Kiana Harris for international news.
Thanks, Kendall. My topic today is North Korea's $850 million rocket failure. On April 13, 2012, North Korea launched an $850 million rocket. The launch site itself cost $400 million, and the rocket and payload cost an additional $450 million, according to a military official. Unfortunately, the rocket launch failed and lost a great amount of money. $850 million could nearly feed 80% of North Korea's population. North Korea has a population of 24.3 million people, according to a 2010 census. Instead of using the money for the rocket, they could have used the money to buy 2.5 million tons of corn and 1.4 million tons of rice. The United Nations estimated that North Korea uses 5.4 million tons of crops each year, but they dipped into their budget and lost a great amount of money. North Korea has suffered a deficit of 400,000 tons of food each year, so the money could resolve the problem of food shortages for 6 years, an unnamed official told Yonhap. In the final analysis, I think that North Korea should have used their money more wisely and should have used the money for crops, not a rocket. In other news, in northern Pakistan, 384 inmates escaped from a prison on April 15, 2012. Hundreds of Taliban militants raided the area. This event took place in the city of Bannu in northwest Pakistan. At least 4 officials were wounded in the attack. The attack lasted about 2 hours, and during those 2 hours, 384 prisoners out of the 944 escaped. Among them were 2 prisoners waiting execution. The Pakistani Taliban came forward and took responsibility for this attack. In the final analysis, I think that the militants should have taken better control of this.
And now a message from our sponsors.
When you have cable and you don't get channels, you get depressed. When you get depressed, you sell your hair to a wig shop.
Do you have cancer?
When you sell your hair to a wig shop, people think you have cancer.
I'm sorry that you have cancer.
When people think you have cancer, people feel sorry for you.
I feel sorry for you.
When people feel sorry for you, they give you gifts. When they give you gifts, you open up a box of chocolates. When you open up a box of chocolates, you feel like Forrest Gump.
Run, Forrest, run!
When you feel like Forrest Gump, you go to Vietnam. When you go to Vietnam, you get killed. Don't get killed. Get DirecTV today. Welcome back to CNN News. I'm Tyler Gipe with your national news. On April 10, 2012, Rick Santorum suspended his race for the GOP nomination. The official reason of his suspension is his ailing daughter, but there is speculation that he dropped to avoid the embarrassment of losing his own state, Pennsylvania. If Rick was your favorite contender, don't worry. He said on Twitter, quote, "I suspended my campaign for president, but will not stop fighting for our country," end quote. It is expected that would-be voters for Santorum will now back Mitt Romney or not vote at all. In other news, 8 United States soldiers died of an opiate overdose overseas. "56 U.S. soldiers, including the 8, were investigated in 2010 to 2011 for the possession or use of opiates. Unfortunately, those 8 died. This was uncovered when the government released the documents detailing this. Opiate use among soldiers have increased from 10 cases in 2002 to 116 cases in 2010. On April 27th, a teacher in a New Jersey school was placed on leave for bullying a 10-year-old boy named Akian. The boy's father placed a recording device in Akian's pocket before going to school. In the recording, adults make fun of Akian and tell him to shut his mouth. In the final analysis, I hope to high heaven this is a joke. If Chambersburg Area School District starts suspending people for saying shut your mouth, there will be no teachers left in the district. Now on to Sydney with local news.
Thanks, Tyler, and now for your local news. On Saturday, 28th, the Cumberland Valley Animal Shelter raised more than $2,100 on their first How to Heal Dog Walk. All the money raised will benefit the Second Chance Fund. Thanks to everyone who attended and donated. In other news, Levi Beiser was accused of 5 burglaries of a convenience store, stealing thousands of dollars in cigarettes and other products. These are not his first burglary charges. His preliminary hearing is Tuesday, May 1st at 1 p.m. at the Franklin County Central Court. Also, on Wednesday, April 25th, the Chambersburg Area School Board voted 5-4 on Coach Sean Truppler not returning as Chambersburg varsity head coach. The main reason was profanity in the locker room, but later board members claimed that there were other reasons. In my final analysis, this ends his 15-season coaching career, and 2012's Coach of the Year will not return next season. And now for your Pennsylvania lottery numbers. 7, 31, 1, 15, 8, 2, 11, 20, 95, 8, 26, 98, 14, 9, 15. Sorry, Mr. Coons, but you didn't win. Thanks for watching the CNN News. Tune in next week on Channel 5.
You know we were recording you, right?
Okay.
His
His baby's made in Indonesia.
April 23rd.
Chris is lazy eye. It's like.
On April 13th, on April
Oh my gosh, my hair.